Friendly.
Yeah.
But someone in a bad mood
Yes.
in this uniform will have it off you.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I think he was really in a bad mood. Racial discrimination.
Can you imagine to be given penalty points on a driving license to a pedestrian crossing on a red light? Driving on a red light is a criminal offense with 3 points on the driver's license and £100 fine. For riding an e-scooter, you will be treated much worse. This video is addressed to every teenager's parent. Watch this before it's not too late to protect your family future plans. Don't get left off the road with a criminal conviction for a popular, eco-friendly electric transport. E-scooter remain extremely popular between teenagers. Many of them don't understand the law. Many of them don't want to understand it. I'm calling today to a mom of an 18 years old who was discriminated by law enforcement with the deep mental consequences. Feel free to comment and remember to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends to protect the children's future. If you want to stay updated with the situation, hit the bell button and enjoy watching. We have a special guest today, Mary. Her child became a victim of the police officer mood.
Yes, so my name is Mary. I'm finishing a master in international commercial and business law at university. And at the same time, I'm working part-time as a carer.
And what happened to your child recently?
At the end of February, so he just turned 18 less than 2 months before. He has been stopped by a police officer, dog unit, to give him a fine
How
for
much is the fine?
no insurance and no license, which is paper, like piece paper, and you can see that it's no insurance and drive other than in accordance with a license. So
Okay.
my son explained him that he was not aware that e-scooters were not allowed because he can see e-scooters everywhere. He has a lot of friends who have e-scooter, and no one told him that it was not allowed, and that he can see a lot, even in front of the police station, that you can rent.
Hi guys, sorry to bother. May I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If there is electric scooter coming, do you do anything, or we can use
It's in
them?
the park, yeah, you can use them. Generally, they're illegal,
Okay.
but there's so many out. We obviously educate people. We tell them, if we stop them, it's still illegal. They shouldn't be using them. But there's so many out there. It's technically it's a bit of an unstoppable force, to be honest.
I see.
Hopefully, it's going to be legalized anyway. It's something that the city wants greener transport.
So my son has been really shocked. He could not enter at home straight. He just sat on a bench for something like 30 minutes, completely lost, because he asked the police officer, but you don't give a warning at first? Because I didn't know that it was not allowed. If not, I would never drive a scooter. But I think he was really in a bad mood. After that, when he came at home, he was completely shaking. Like completely shaking he had to stay with me until middle of the night, and afterwards then he called his friends the day after. For days and days he just spoke about that, and all his friends who have e-scooter, some of them told him that they have been caught, riding e-scooter, even several times. He has a friend, for example, that has been caught at the time, has been caught already 4 times. And the week after, he called my son saying that just guess what happened? I've been caught a 5th time. and he just got warnings. So 5 warnings, still no fine, nothing at all. My son has been caught just one time. He explained that he was not aware, he was sorry, he apologized, and the police officer didn't want to hear anything. He gave him that. So we got the paper from the court. So I filled them with non-guilty. And then when you plead non-guilty, you have a hearing, because everyone has the right to defend his case. And so I was waiting. I know that at the moment, because of COVID-19, a lot of hearings are postponed or things like that. And what did I got like 10 days ago? I got a document from the court, the judgment, which say, I don't know if you can see it. So he got a fine for 660 pound, which means it's more than just the 400, because the court, they can give more. Plus he got a victim SIR, which is a tax, 66 pounds, and 90 pounds for the court fees, which is 816 pounds, if you can see.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I even asked for the video, all the data that you can ask. You just need to call the police and explain that what happened, the number of the police officer.
Did you get this video?
And everything. Yes, and that you want the video or all which is concerning the case. And I just received the same, like the paper that the police officer filled. There is no video at all, because I wanted to prove, because the things at the end, and that is, I think, one of the most important things, is that when my son has been caught on his e-scooter, at this time, the e-scooter was not charged. It was discharged. So he was driving like a kick scooter. Yes, it was on a, like the road was going
downhill.
down. Yes, exactly. But he didn't tell that to the police officer, because he was just so shocked. He didn't leave him any time to. He just say, I'm sorry, I was not aware. You don't give a warning. And he said, no, done, boom. We really think that there is a part of racial discrimination in it. And yeah, you should have been really in a really bad mood to give all that. How can you give a COVID-19 fine for someone who is telling that I just come to pick up a parcel? I'm going home.
Can we consider this situation as like ruining the teenager's life?
He has ruined the 6 last months of my son. Completely, he gets depressed. He didn't go out. You could not go out because of the lockdown already. But since this happened, stay in his room, in his bed, in the dark, nearly all the time. He really, he suffered from PTSD. Until today, he is the only one among all the people that he knows in the city, all his friends, who has been coached with and given not only all those fine, the points, but on his license, but in addition, he was completely shocked that after being given the ticket for traffic offense, the police officer say yes, and in addition you will get a fine for breaching the COVID-19 rule. What? So he has really suffered a lot, and he's still suffering, and still feeling that he has been like racially discriminated. And it's just he's not the same at all. He's still suffering for that after like nearly 6 months now.
Thank you for your time, and I hope we can find anybody who is able to help you, because your case based on, as you say, on discrimination, and I can confirm that in my special case, I was quite kind to the police officer.
Thank you very much, officer.
Sorry, this was
Nice talking to you. Sorry for that.
Take care.
And it looks like my kindness worked against me.
And the police officer told me, yes, they are just honest people who are afraid of the police.
I wish we can find the legal assistance for this lovely family. Winning one case can change the whole situation around personal electric transport for every of you. If you or your child still riding an e-scooter, please be aware of the responsibility. You are risking a big fine and losing a possibility to drive in the UK for many years. It can affect your family welfare. Please think twice before you do it. See you on the next video.
We live in France. And in France, e-scooters are allowed for everyone without anything, no license, no insurance, from 12 years old. And my son is really feeling, as myself, that is just racial discrimination. Because even if myself, I'm white, I'm French, my son, his father is an Asian. So my son looks more Asian, like he doesn't look European, if you mean. While Boris Johnson is cycling 7 miles from his home, that's not from like the parliament, that's not an issue. But when normal people are just less than 1 mile away from their home, they get a fine for breaching the COVID-19 rule.